I thought I would come at you today with a quick review and opinion of the new Anastasia Soft Glam palette. I know you've probably seen a million tutorials and reviews on these, swatches, all that kind of thing. I actually have seen a lot of tutorials and swatches already, so I'm not going to swatch many of these, if any, for you. But I wanted to give you my impression because a lot of people I've found have been kind of hemming and hawing about getting this palette, thinking that it's a little too similar to the Modern Renaissance palette. The colors in this palette were very similar to me to the Naked Heat palette, which I was very drawn to. I love the warm neutrals. However, it is a little bit more user-friendly, I think. There's not a single color in it that I won't use, so I'm excited about it. I actually did a tutorial. Here, I'm going to zoom in because I think this look turned out kind of pretty. Started filming it and my eyes started tearing up and tearing and tearing and tearing and tearing. And if it were not for the fact that I've used this palette many times before, I would probably think I had an allergy to it. So it's not. I have no allergy to it. It's just that my eyes just started tearing. I think I have allergies to the general air right now. But anyway, so this is the palette. It comes with a camel colored velvet packaging with a cardboard with the velvet flocking on it. I hate this. Hate. I do not like the color, and I feel like it is going to get so dirty, and I'm sure it will. However, inside is all the prettiness. This is the Anastasia Soft Glam palette, and these colors are showing up pretty true to life on the camera here. The black is a super dark black. You have a matte mulberry shade that is a little more burgundy than it shows up here in the camera. You've got a very, very glittery bronze right here. And these come off insanely glittery. You see that? Woo! And then we've got Cypress Umber, which is a matte brown. Rustic, which is a matte, like, let's see, what color would I say that is? Like a matte deep caramel color. And then we've got Sienna, which is a little redder than the Rustic. We've got Sultry, which is another kind of cool-toned, glittery bronze. And then we've got more of the shimmery look eyeshadows. This is Rose Pink. It's shimmery. We've got Matte Orange Soda, which is my all-time favorite Anastasia color. Burnt Orange, which goes without saying, it's burnt orange. It's another matte. Fairy, which is a gold shimmer, glittery. Not really glittery, more shimmery than glittery. Glistening, which is slightly warmer than gold, than the Fairy. It's got a little bit more of an orange hint to it. Got Tempera, which is a vanilla matte shade, and Dusty Rose, which is a Dusty Rose matte shade. These colors play off each other gorgeously. They work so well together, especially Orange Soda, Burnt Orange, Sienna, and Rustic. You can blend these colors together in this beautiful, completely seamless blend of color, and then just use a few of the shimmery colors on top, and you've got a very, very neutral, soft, but vintage appropriate color scheme that actually works really well with very traditional vintage styles. So I think that these eyeshadows are amazing for vintage looks, but of course they also work for new and modern looks and all of that. So that is the palette. Now, how it compares to the Modern Renaissance, to me, there are a few very obvious comparisons. The burnt orange appears in both palettes. It's right here. And this color, Cypress Umber, is also in the Soft Glam palette. However, the rest of the colors are really different. Golden Ochre, oh, Tempera is also in it. Sorry, Tempera is like their kind of standard vanilla shades. But obviously, Golden Ochre, Raw Sienna, Buon Fresco, which is one of my very favorite transition shades in the world. It's kind of a cool tone, a little lighter than the Dusty Rose in the other palette, and Warm Taupe. These are all colors that are additional mattes that work really well for very traditional, very authentic vintage looks. The shimmers in here are Primavera and Vermeer. Vermeer makes the most gorgeous face highlight. It is, to me, prettier as a face highlight than anything in any of those glow kits. It is beautiful. So that's my favorite thing in this palette, is that color. But Primavera is really pretty, kind of a golder, shimmery color. And then of course you've got your obvious differences, the bold reds, which I have been asked to do a look with these and if you would like to see that, I might do that. But what I really love is that when you have both of these palettes, you have an unending cool and warm color collection. I love Railgar, which is this dark orange. I think it goes really well with the colors in the Soft Glam palette. So it's just, I don't know, I think it's definitely not apples and oranges. They are definitely very cohesive palettes in themselves that are similar in some respects, because obviously some of the same shades are in both. But I think that both need to be in your collection. They are absolutely my very favorite palettes that I have, other than one, and I will do a video on that one eventually. I actually am playing with it a little bit more, and it's one that really came out of left field and surprised me. So I will be showing you a video on that palette as well. But for now, let's go ahead and suffice it to say that these two are my favorite palettes, and I love the fact that they have so many myriads of looks that can be created from them, but they also work really well together. But that is my feelings on it. I feel like both palettes are very well done, both palettes are really well conceived, and both palettes I feel like should be in your collection. There is nothing about one that I feel like makes it necessarily better than the other one, but there are definitely things about both that I think work cohesively together. Does that make sense? Anyway, that's all I wanted to say, other than the tutorial that I was going to do, that I didn't get to do, because my eyes started watering. But if you still want to see a tutorial, it's super easy to do. It uses most of the colors in the palette, believe it or not, and I love the fact that you can make such an easy transition with your blending using so many different colors. I love that about it. But anyway, that's my feelings on these two palettes. This dress back here is my new retrospect dress. I'm going to turn the camera so you can see it because I am super into it. It's like the pagoda print from Retrospect. And I always put it on my dress form to let the wrinkles fall out of it. And I liked this little yellow cardigan with it, so I thought I would go ahead and stick it with it. Ooh, I need to tell y'all, this little cardigan I found for $15 on Amazon, and I found 3 more for $15 on Amazon in the same kind of feel that's very soft, fine knit. And they also have some with a 3/4 length sleeve that is longer, not really a crop sweater. But these are only $15 and they are amazing quality for that price. I have a hard time finding little shrunken vintage style cardigans. I don't know why, but they are difficult for me to find. I don't know if the rest of you have this problem. And I apologize about my hair. I didn't really do anything to it and then it got windblown. But definitely check out Amazon if you were looking for vintage cardigans at a cheap price, at a steal actually. This little cap sleeve one is super cute, or a little short sleeve one. But I always end up with a Retrospect dress. I bought one last year, I bought one the year before. I feel like that every year when I think I'm gonna buy myself a new dress and I think I'm gonna step outside and go to a different company, I always end up with Retrospect because it's my favorite. I love novelty prints. All right, so that's all on those two palettes, and hopefully that answered some of your questions about how they compare and whether they're worth the value. $42 is a great price for a palette with that many color options and that many great possible looks that you can create. So no, I don't think they're overpriced at all. The other palette, the one I told you was fast becoming a favorite, pricey. So we'll do a review on that one and a tutorial, and you can decide whether you think it's going to be worth your time and your money. But yeah, that's gonna be happening soon. I'm gonna do a quick little tutorial, hair tutorial today, a day to night look. Maybe. We'll see how it turns out. But if there's another tutorial that comes up right after this review, you will know it worked. And if there's not one, then you will know it didn't.